ready as I'm going to be right now.
Hey everyone, this is Meshea with As Long As You're Breathing, and I have Pam McDonald with me. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How about you on this Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve. I know. Well, as you know, because you just finished watching it, I put out a Christmas message to As Long As You're Breathing earlier today.
You did. It was awesome. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I've been receiving messages back, not necessarily comments, but I've been receiving messages about it.
Cool. Well, geez, you just did that. So that's really good.
Well, yeah, but obviously you can't look at the page and really see them.
Oh, bummer.
Well, obviously much of what we deal with are people who are going through spiritual awakening. And
yeah,
yes. And while much of what I had to say, anyone could be comfortable with. Many people believe that we are energy. You don't have to believe in spiritual awakening to believe that we're energy, although awakening to new information is awakening. Expanding consciousness is becoming conscious of or awakening to new information. So you can keep it all just in that vein and discuss it totally that way, which I'm very open to doing. But there are also those who do talk about it all from the metaphysical. And that's kind of where we're going here.
Okay.
Because I talk about my gifts openly. I think some other people here do too.
Well, you know, this was my year for my spiritual outcoming. So
it was.
Or my spiritual coming out.
Spiritual coming out. That's right. Yeah. Right. That's right. It was. And so what are some of your titles, Pam?
Oh, good heavens. Let's see. We claimed the title of Reverend this year. We also claimed our title of High Priestess this year.
Right.
You know, we've been licensed massage therapists for a while. And lately, the most important and what's going to go forward for me next year is sacred energy management
specialist.
We haven't quite got there. Specialist, healer,
something. Yeah.
But it all has to do with the sacred energy management. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The things you and I that have been really working on this last few months and how important we think it is. Well, we don't really think. We know how important it is to just what you put in your video, you know, stay focused and in your energy, keep your frequency high. Yeah, we're going to have those low moments, but we pass right through them and come right back up to our frequency.
Absolutely. And all of those things can be talked about purely from an energetic standpoint. And we are both very comfortable doing that. We are both very comfortable not bringing the spiritual or the metaphysical into it, and happy to meet people at that place, which is why I did the video the way I did today. However, the reason I'm going ahead and doing this one too, and I'm so glad to have you join me because you weren't available when I did the other one earlier.
I know.
Because you also have title partner in crime now.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that one. And I was practicing my massage therapist license at that time, earlier. I think when you did the earlier one. Yeah.
Yeah, you were. But I am getting a lot of energy off of that message. And some of that energy, I feel the energy off of when people watch the messages. So just so y'all know, I feel the energy of viewers. I feel the energy, and I get whatever source decides is the best and highest good for me to get. I get. It's not like I spy on what anybody is thinking or whatever whenever they're watching them, but I do get energy, and I do get some hits, what word would you use? I don't want to use psychic. Intuitive hits. I get some intuitive hits. And I was actually very tired and was going to watch the sunset and go to bed. And I got an intuitive hit, and it was like, you're not going anywhere. You just got a second wind, and you're doing a video. And because forgiveness doesn't come with a debt. And I'm like, okay, that's an old Mary Chapin Carpenter song from I Take My Chances, you know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was tuning in one night by remote, and I saw a preacher who talked of the light, but there was brimstone in his throat. He said he'd show me the way according to him in return for my personal check. I turned the letter back to CNN and had another smoke, I think is what she said. And of course, I always said Diet Coke because I don't smoke because I'm allergic to it. But anyway, I'll take my chances every chance I get. Because forgiveness doesn't come with a debt, something like that is how the song goes. But yeah, that I kept getting that over and over. I kept feeling this energy, and they're like, go to the Facebook page, go to the Facebook page. And as soon as I opened up the video, well, it's at the top. And as soon as I opened it up, there came the energy. It was forgiveness doesn't come with a debt. Forgiveness doesn't come with a debt. And no, it doesn't. And that is a very important point. I did a whole long channeling or teaching, whichever you're comfortable with. Whenever we get in the flow of teaching and it's just coming from somewhere and we just seem like we just know so much and we're just going, whether you're speaking in front of a group of people at a business meeting, or whether you're doing it in a more charismatic type movement, whether you want to call it teaching or channeling, whatever you're comfortable with. For me, that comes from source or the collective consciousness or whatever. And so that's where it comes from for me. And so that message today, I just sat down and it's stuff I've been teaching now or channeling for a while. But in Vicksburg, I channeled an entire show on what do you do? Is there any such thing as an unforgivable sin? And there can't be. From the standpoint of, Pam, we all want to be forgiven for whatever we have done.
Right.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that there's not societal, there's consequences for something that we've done. There can be consequences, yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, or that we don't have to let someone back in our lives just because we've forgiven them. We don't have to. We certainly go ahead and protect ourselves, especially if they're going to do it again. But we have to forgive. If we don't forgive everyone involved in a situation, ourselves and the other person and ourselves, then there's not been true forgiveness. And
that's what I was going to say. We have to remember that, there's always two sides to every story. So we always play a part in whatever's happening. So if there's forgiveness to be given, it does have to be for us too. And I think that comes kind of like the self-care.
It is.
We really need to do that first and foremost, because when we are able to forgive ourselves, then we can forgive others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is necessary. And for us to move on, someone who I admire very much, Maura Hutchison, used to tell me all the time that unforgiveness is like thinking that the person you're not forgiving is drinking poison every day, and you're doing something to them by not forgiving them. And when actually you're the one drinking the poison every day because you're the one not forgiving. They're not even aware of it. They're not drinking anything. You're the one drinking it.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not drinking
true in so many cases.
Yeah, you're the one drinking it. They have no idea. Now you've damaged the relationship. You've got the energy around you, so you're damaging other relationships because you're staying in that energy of unforgiveness. You're keeping your vibration low. You're doing all kinds of damage to yourself. You're doing all kinds of damage to yourself. But that person has moved on, and chances are they don't even know what the situation is, because if you're in unforgiveness, you probably haven't told them, or if you have told them, you told them in such a way that they've moved on. And so right. So The other thing with unforgiveness is when we get stuck in something like that, why are we stuck there? What has us stuck there? What is it about the situation that keeps us stuck in unforgiveness? There can't be a debt with forgiveness. We can't attach a what would the word be? A condition to forgiving someone. Forgiveness just has to be forgiveness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever we are going through the process of true self-care, the point of that is so that we are free. That is the whole point. True self-care is about being free, freeing yourself from memories that take your energy, that ruminating over something
Yeah.
over and
Over
over and
and
over.
over.
That takes
Right.
your energy. Not letting something go takes your energy. That's trapped. That's not freedom.
Yeah.
Planning in the future what you're going to do about something. You know, if I see them, I'll say this. If I ever see them, I'll do that. Well, one day I'll deal with it and I'll do this. That's taking your energy.
Right.
You're trapped in that. That's taking your freedom. True freedom is living in the moment and having let all that go.
Yeah.
That's true freedom. And we can only do that through forgiveness. Go ahead.
And well, I was just going to say, and you know, it kind of dawned on me that when you think that you need to forgive or somebody needs to forgive you, honestly, much of the time, other people don't think that same way. They don't even know, like you said, you kind of alluded to a little earlier, they don't know that anything has been done that they either need to be forgiven for or they need to forgive you for. It's kind of it's a self thing. Now, I don't mean that there aren't times when we feel we need to forgive or be forgiven and we don't do that. But
well, part of it is because we put expectations on people that we don't have the
yes,
right to put on them.
right,
Unless we are in relationship and have agreed to, unless we have said to them, you can expect this from me. And unless
right,
they have said to us, you can expect this of me, then
yes,
we have nothing to be upset about. You know,
right,
that's
right,
poor energy management right there. We have to
yes,
stop expecting of others. We weren't taught that. We were taught that in relationships, we can expect something of no one. No, we can't. Not until they have told us we can. And they can't expect from us until they tell us that we can. And so that whole
yeah,
going in there, they're supposed to be doing this because we're in a relationship. No, not until the two of you have agreed that you're going to. But then, now once the agreement is made, then yes, then you can expect it. But when it doesn't happen, what you have to do is you have to step back. You have to feel your feels about it. And then you
yeah,
have to pull yourself back up into unconditional love. And when you're
yeah,
in unconditional love, there's no anger. I mean, you can't be in unconditional love and be
right,
angry, upset, any of those things. So then you're able to discuss it calmly and say, okay, we have this agreement. We have agreed that we have this relationship, whether this is an employer, a friend, a spouse, your child, whatever. We have this agreement. We have agreed in this relationship that this is how it will be. You are not meeting this agreement, and that causes, therefore, this situation. And I cannot be in that situation because it lowers my vibrational frequency. It puts me in this place. And then I have to use energy to pull myself back up and to put myself where I am supposed to be, where I authentically want to be, where I am free,
right,
where I'm free.
right,
And so either you're wanting to not be in that relationship, we need to alter that agreement, or what do we need to do? That's a
or
calm conversation because you've come to forgiveness. Go ahead.
or I was just going to say, and sometimes possibly even remove yourself from the situation.
Yes,
from the relationship.
absolutely.
That's just sometimes the way it is.
Because it is becoming an energy deficit. Because any
Yes.
relationship has to be energy for energy. If one is putting in and the other isn't, that relationship that you're forming where that expectation is agreed to, that's energy for energy. You don't get into
Yeah.
a relationship where it's unequally yoked. You don't do that.
I like that word, yoked.
Yeah, yoked is unequally yoked. Yeah. So you don't do that. But the other thing to remember is, for those who are more into the metaphysical, is we did come here to do certain things. And so we have to remember that there are energies going on for all of us that we are moving and flowing in. And some of us, maybe that's what we were supposed to do, or that's what the energies were, or however you want to look
Yes.
at it. And so we are going to do things that we want to be forgiven for, or that we came here to do, or whatever way you want to look at it. And other people are going to do it too. We all want to be forgiven as we move through the flow of life, as we move along this energetic. Now, as we all pull ourselves into vibrational alignment and into this frequency, we should have less and less of those experiences that we have to be forgiving about.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yes, I don't think forgiveness comes with a debt. What debt should forgiveness come with? Can you think of any that?
No, when you first mentioned that, I was just like, well, the first thing that came to mind was those are totally, but can I use the word incongruent with each other?
Yeah, they're incongruent.
You can't have forgiveness if you have a debt, if you attach a debt to it.
Yeah.
I
forgive you, but.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgive you, but. Yeah. Again, if you forgive, you
that's just it. Period, paragraph.
Yeah, you forgive.
So yeah.
And it doesn't mean, and if you're going to move on, then say so and move on.
Right.
But say so. Use your voice and say so.
Yes.
Because if not, then what you're doing is harmful to that person. If you're
well, and to you.
And to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah.
so forgiveness cannot come with a debt. Don't say you and don't say you've forgiven.
And then really don't do it.
And don't do it. And don't, and then not act forgiving,
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's all good. It's all good. But then not really forgive, because that's not high vibrational either. You're not being your authentic self. You're not plugging into that vibrational frequency that we all came here to live when you do that. And that is the whole point of being here. And Pam, I know you agree with me on the fact that we are here to live this high vibrational frequency and to plug into that. And if we all plug into it, then that current flows, and it's abundance and success and health and emotional wellness for all. So want to address that a little bit and we'll close.
Yeah. So, I find that a lot when I'm working with my clients. It's just so important to come to terms with where you are in your life. It's good to address where you've been. It's fun to have an excitement about where you're going to be in the future, right? But so much we talk about is being in the present. Many of us are living either in the past or in the future, and not enough in the present. Right. And I think as we really get a grasp on that, and all of us begin to live in the present, we do that forgiveness if there's forgiveness to be given. If we hold our vibration as high as we can all the time, are we going to have moments? Sure we are. We're human. We're, those spiritual beings living in these human bodies. Right. So we're going to have that. But we just, like you said, we have those feels, and we move back into that energy and that frequency where we know that we are living our highest and best. And in doing so, we help others to do that same thing. And, while we're still talking about the metaphysical a little bit, while ago you said, you were struggling for that word of intuitive, right? That
Yes.
intuitive feeling when you,
Intuitive, yes.
yeah, when you read things or whatnot. And you and I both have that very intuitive, empathic nature. And so it's easy for us to absorb so many energies that are not really ours.
Yes.
It's easy. It would be easy for us to be drugged down. And thank goodness both of us have now reached a plateau, a level, and we hopefully
we've learned.
Right. We hopefully keep moving that bar just a little higher every day.
Yes.
But we we find ourselves doing the same thing. We drift back down a little bit because we get our feelings hurt, or something happens and we're sad, but it doesn't take us but that long to usually pop back up. And anyway, I just wanted to kind of remind those that are out there that are listening to this or going to be listening to this to pay attention to those intuitive hits, if you want to call them that, those feelings, and be sure that, let's even talk about forgiveness. Is that forgiveness really what you're feeling, or what's coming from someone else?
Right.
You could be getting that someone else feels like they need to be forgiven, or you need to forgive them, or they need to forgive you. So just pay attention to your own feelings, to your own intuition, to your own authenticness, and
Right.
and know what's yours and know what's someone else's.
Well, and I guess that's a great point to make, is that the whole reason that As Long as You're Breathing exists, and the whole reason we're going to be doing sacred energy management, and we're energy management specialists and all of those things, is because so many people are awakening to all of this, because they are becoming more and more empathic as we move into lesser dense energies to more high vibrational, more empathic, more open to their gifts. They're more clairaudient, more claircognizant, more all of those things.
More
And
intuitive.
more intuitive. And they're not realizing, or they do realize what's going on and they're not talking about it, which is why I've been a bear in a china shop and said, yes, I've got an angel squad, and yes, I'm clairaudient, I hear, and yes, I feel, I can pick up my phone and I can feel if source, it's best and highest good, I can feel what a message means, et cetera, et cetera. I'm open and honest about all of that, because I want all of you to know that you can control those. You can learn to do that with integrity. You can do that, because I don't want to know what everybody's thinking, to be perfectly honest. I don't want to know what, if somebody really meant, I really just don't want to have dinner with you. I don't want to know that. If what they said is, I'm tired, if it's really, I never wanted to have dinner with you, I don't want to know. I want to know that they're tired. But if source has a reason why it comes through as, this person doesn't want to have dinner with you ever again, and source lets me know that, then it's for my best and highest good. But
and theirs too.
But
yeah.
we want people to understand that that's what all the people we bring on here, that's what they do, is they teach you how to use these gifts with integrity. They teach you how to clear your energy. Oh my God, do I teach how to clear energy? And does Pam teach how to clear energy? And we teach how to clear energy. We teach how to release all these things. We teach you how to do what Pam said, to come through those emotions so quickly, and leave the past in the past, and just joyfully anticipate for a little bit and then come to the present. And that's what we're teaching. So if you're clairaudient, and you're hearing voices and you're like, I can't tell anybody that. Yes, you can tell us. Or you can come here and just watch and say, it's because I believe everything's energy, so I'm watching them. You can say that, and we're good with it.
We're good.
You don't have to say it's because I'm clairaudient too. You don't ever have to fess up. You don't have to tell us, but it's safe.
But I do encourage you to do that.
Yes, we do encourage you to, because because then you're being authentic to who you are, and you can plug in to who you are, and you can operate in all your gifts, and then you're free. If we are not showing up authentically in the world, if we're not being truly who we are, then we're not free. And when we are all operating in our true freedom, freedom of our gifts, freedom of expression, freedom of, I don't have to do what society expected of me.
Right.
I don't have to do that. All I have to do, because the greatest gift we can give, the only thing that's really expected of us, is to come here and be who we were authentically meant to be, because that is our responsibility to everyone. Because when we do that, our uniqueness is so valued by the whole, because it takes each of us valuing our own uniqueness. We each have to value our own uniqueness so much that we say, I mean so much that I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to step into it. I'm going to plug into it. And we all do that so I can have what I'm supposed to have. And when I do that, and you do that, and everybody else does that, then oneness gets what it's supposed to have. And we all have what we're supposed to have. And if we don't all do it, then we all don't get it.
Right.
So forgiveness cannot come with a debt.
Very true. And I know that we need to end because we didn't want to make this long,
Right.
but I do want to say one other thing.
Yes.
And that is that we have given that open invitation for those who wish to speak up about their gifts and they're afraid to do that. You know, even if they come to our shows that we're going to be having next year and they can't actually do that out loud, that they, and I know I can speak for you on this, they can either contact you or me directly.
Sure.
And share that with us and know that we will support them any way we can until they are ready to fully step into that gift.
Fully, yeah, till they're ready to truly be free, until they're ready to truly be free.
Yeah, till they're really ready to out themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No pushing, because you can't push someone into anything like that.
No. Nor would we want to.
Nor would we. No.
But yeah, because we kind of touched on that, I thought it was important to share that. So
it is.
Please know.
Right.
Yeah.
And Pam and I are going to be doing that next year. We have book projects in the works. We have publishing projects in the works. We have compilation projects in the works. But Pam and I are just going to be so busy next year that the only debts we're going to have are those kind of debts, not any forgiveness debts.
And we hope that you're going to find us at the beach really often.
Yeah, at the beach really often doing all of this, because that's we like warmer weather. Yeah. I'm kind of done with the cold, and it's only been here a few weeks. So that's right. So thank you, Pam, for popping on, and thank you all because for the ones who have already watched and for those who haven't, because I also get the hits about, you may not have seen it yet, but I still get the energy, and I know the energy before you've even looked at it. I get the energetic feel of what the message is going to be back. And the overwhelming message back was, forgiveness doesn't come with a debt. And whether that was Source wanting me to explain that to you, or whether it was one of you who were going to watch it and that was going to be your response, that wasn't explained to me, and it didn't have to be. All that was explained to me was, no, you're not tired. You've got a new lease on life here. Get Pam and get on and do a video. And so that's what we did, because that's what we do as long as we're breathing. Right, Pam?
That is absolutely correct.
All right, you all. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.